going on, everybody? Stony James, back in Gotham City, aka Stony Island, aka the Upper Room.
When Jesus.
Tijuana Jackson reaction. Men only 25 harsh truths your dad never told you. I ain't wasting no more time. Let's go. Hit the like button, hit the share, make sure you subscribe. On your way out, I thank you.
Here go 25 things most fathers fail to tell you because they are offensive and they will hurt the feelings of the people around you. But as a 56-year-old man, I'm telling you that these 25 truths could save you 10, 20, 30, 40 years of suffering and self-doubt. For those of you with absent fathers, this first one's for you. His absence does not define you. Your father's choices, his long list of broken promises, his insensitivities, his lack of accountability, his addictions, and his failure to be a responsible father had nothing to do with who you were or who you are. Even if your head was a little bigger than the average kid's, he wasn't rejecting you. He was rejecting a healthier, more responsible and selfless version of himself. He couldn't face his own shit, and you being his most accurate mirror, he couldn't face you either. But you are without question his greatest creation. He fumbled a chance to bask in the light of the man you are becoming, but his absence does not reflect your value or your potential. A man ain't measured by who left him behind, he's measured by how far he is willing to move forward.
Nah, it is so hard. It is so hard to sit here and watch this with his teeth out. I gotta get past the teeth so I can make it through this video, man. It's almost motivational, but like the editor is doing a lot. I guess that's what you gotta do to keep people attention or whatever, man.
Pause. The second tip your father probably failed to give you, whether he was in your life or not, is that your feelings are real. Even still, the way your father's presence or absence made you feel should not dictate your future. But it will. That burning desire to prove yourself is really a deeper need to prove your worth to him. But I promise you it's unnecessary and undeserved. You should never waste your energy trying to prove yourself to people who have denied, rejected, or abandoned you. Unless it's for a job that's gonna leave you set for life. But in all seriousness, prove to nobody but yourself that you can be healthier, better, smarter today than you was yesterday. The third thing your father probably failed to teach you is that love cannot be earned through perfection. Trying to overachieve and be perfect to gain love ain't sustainable. If you gotta perform for it, it ain't love anyway, it's an audition. The fourth thing your father probably failed to tell you is that he lost you because he lost himself. He was fighting battles he never took.
Yo, this is rapid fire. He ain't wasting no time in between them, but he preaching right now, man.
Took the time to understand until it was too late. His issues was never your fault, but he failed to address them before they impacted you both. His lack of emotion, his inability to be faithful, his affinity to the streets. Those were all the ways he avoided feeling the anger and sadness for what he had to endure as a kid. But
I actually thought this was going to be more comedic. So, like, my expectation before I started this reaction is, like, it's not matching up with what's going on. I'm not mad at it, but, you know, this is not what I expected.
Self-destructive behavior drew him closer to everything he resented and further away from you. Like they always say, dog, go within or go without. Pause. The fifth thing your father probably failed to tell you that is so important is that you heal at the speed of your forgiveness. Your father took too long to forgive his father for doing to him exactly what he ended up doing to you. But the moment your daddy got a glimpse of what the man who raised him had to go through, what the man who raised him had to endure as a toddler on up, was the moment your father developed an empathy for that man he didn't even know he was capable of. That's right, your granddaddy was a mean motherfucker. But holding on to resentment is like sitting up your office in a porta potty. You just choosing to be in some shit. Forgiveness ain't about excusing the past. It's about refusing to let it control your future. It ain't about letting folks off the hook. It's about moving on to bigger fish. And remember, the forgiveness ain't for him, it's for you.
Hey, facts, man. That's another one of them things we learning as we get older is like forgiveness is not a weakness. It's not letting people off the hook. Man, you gotta be above a whole lot of stuff just to like survive and thrive in this world. And when your feelings are so attached to something that somebody did to you, you get stuck in that loop. You can't get outside of it. You got to learn how to reason with it long enough to be okay. Let it go. It's in the past. There's nothing you can do about that because it's over with. You know, you ever catch yourself having an argument with somebody that's not even in the room with you? Like, it sounds funny, but I'm sure we can all relate to that. Like, you really got to learn how to push past that. So, like, learning not to take this stuff personally because a lot of people go through things that don't have nothing to do with you. You just happen to be a representative, you're a stand-in or whatever it is in their life. It's not even about you.
The number 6 thing that most fathers forget to tell their boys is about the reality of unconditional love. Most men, if they lucky, only get a shot at unconditional love from their parents and dogs. And one of the hardest things for fathers to live with is knowing they fail to give you that kind of love, knowing that your chances of finding it elsewhere is slim to none. The world will love you with conditions, contracts, and cancellation policies, but a father's love ain't supposed to have no fine print. Pause. The 7th thing your father probably failed to tell you is that setbacks are lessons, not labels. Try not to see your mistakes, rejections, or failures as proof or affirmation of whatever it is your father made you feel about yourself. Every man got to take the blows that come with life's highs and lows. But never let your mistakes define you. Let them refine you. One makes you bitter, the other makes you better. Pause. The 8th truth that your father probably never told you is to build your own identity. You ain't no bastard child. You are the heir to a man who fumbled fatherhood. Folks quick to hand you a script, but real ones know they gotta write their own story. Pause. The 9th thing your daddy probably failed to explain is the power of boundaries. If you don't have your own code of ethics or list of values or a clear idea of what you stand for, you're gonna get dragged into a lot of unnecessary conflict, situations that could have been handled with half the stress and twice the clarity, you heard? So set boundaries and decide on what you will and won't engage. And just
Okay, when he brought up the boundaries, he talking about engagement, man. Boundaries can be set for a whole lot of different reasons, for a whole lot of different purposes. I actually had to learn to set boundaries in my life just because with your expectations of other people and everything else, when you don't set those boundaries, you actually set yourself up for disappointment. Like, people are going to disappoint you. Like, that's just kind of written into the script. You might as well give it. And like they say, it be your own people. That's with everything. Like, you can only be upset and let down by the people that you let get close enough to you for that to actually happen. Like, if I don't know you, you can't get that close into my circle. That means you can't betray me because you can't get that close. So it would have to be somebody close to me. It would have to be somebody I love or care for or whatever. Like, that comes with the territory. So, like, just get ready for it.
Just to be clear, boundaries ain't about controlling others, it's about self-control, you heard me? If you don't believe in shouting matches, don't engage in them. If you don't tolerate disrespect, don't entertain it. Remove yourself from the equation.
And I'm also learning the contract that it's not a physical contract, but it's a contract that you agree to with people where, say we start this relationship and from the jump, you like to belittle me, right? You call me names and I don't check that at the door. That's me signing the contract saying that it's okay for you to do that from this point forward because I didn't stop it. That's another, as far as boundaries go, that's another thing you got to learn. If you're not going to tolerate it, don't. I don't care how much you like that person, how cute you think they are, whatever you think you can get from them, whatever the situation is. Like, when you become real about this walk of life that you on, then all of that stuff. That's why I see a lot of older people, they less tolerant of stuff. It's like I get it now because you had to go through some stuff to get to that point where you learn, like, I will not have this in my life, no matter what. It might seem harsh, but when you cross that line, when you cross that boundary, you just crossed yourself out of my life. So it might be harsh. It might hurt some feelings. You might have some people like, yo, what did I do? Like, you messed up, and now you out.
Should your absent father try to come back into your life, you have every right to call the shots and set the terms and conditions of how that shit goes down. Simply put, boundaries keep you in the butter and out the gutter. The 10th thing your father probably failed to tell you is that he knows he gave you a poor example of fatherhood. Filled your heart with disappointment and unwarranted rejection and a sense of inadequacy that's probably at the root of your self-doubt. But if you ever choose to have children, you have the insight and potential to do much better than he did because you understand the deeper lasting damage that abandonment has on a child. That alone will make you more patient, selfless, loving, and committed than these who never stop to evaluate their own pain. So they keep repeating the same patterns like one of these multi-level marketing fools on this 5th ground floor opportunity. But still, it's things you need to understand about yourself and the type of women you choose. If you date outside your race, make sure it ain't rooted in fetishes and self-hate. Being with somebody who don't deeply understand the cultural struggles you've endured, it takes a lot of patience, skillful communication, and sometimes thick skin to bridge the gap. Learned ideologies, learned behaviors, and sheer ignorance about your culture can sometimes come off as malicious. Sometimes it is malicious. Sometimes it's just a lack of education. Either way, know the difference and know your motive. Love ain't supposed to be no escape plan, so if you running from yourself, don't expect nobody else to make you feel at home. Bars. You know what? Now would be a good time to hit the like button if you like something, and if you're motivated as hell, hit that notification bell, you heard me?
Hit the like.
12th thing that most daddies fail to tell us is to be mindful of who we are attracted to. Usually, when a woman with generational trust issues finally finds Mr. Right, she will devote the rest of her life to trying to prove him wrong, as if she's more committed to her self-limiting beliefs than...
No, I said hit the like. Like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give it a second. Because y'all be thinking this is a game, man. We're not out here doing this for our health. Okay. Thank you.
She is to their relationship, and that's exactly why I need you to take heed to the following. The 13th thing that most fathers fail to explain is about women and mental health. If a woman suspects that she might have a mental health issue but has never sought an assessment or diagnosis, distance yourself, because she will never fully understand the sacrifices you make to accept, love, and support her. And if she's that careless about her own mental wellness, you ain't got to guess about how she'll be with yours. Don't even be casual with a woman like that, because ain't no telling what she's capable of. Or if you suspect the people who raise you is seemingly walking around with a host of undiagnosed mental health issues, there's a real chance that you may have inherited some of their mental health challenges but don't even realize it, because in the household that dysfunction wasn't just present, it was normalized. Even more than that, those dysfunctional patterns have been stamped into your subconscious, making you prone to choosing women with similar traits. If she thinking her ADHD is a joke, but she ain't trying to get diagnosed, the best thing you could do is get ghost. Do like Papoose and cut my loose. The 14th thing that most fathers fail to tell you is to never choose a woman who can't see beyond her own pain. She will lack empathy for you, undermine your struggles, and make everything about herself. She's usually incapable of teamwork, emotionally reckless, damaged beyond repair like hood rat hair, good pussy, bad cat. The 15th thing that...
I just want to bookmark number 14. I want to bookmark it. Do you know how many people... I know that's going to hit a lot of people.
And my father failed to tell me that could have probably saved me a lot of relationship drama is if a woman is unaware of her unresolved trauma, what she won't face, you will end up fighting. You will be blamed, persecuted, and resented for her emotional history. You will always be on trial, but a lot of times they be battling undiagnosed mental health issues beneath the surface. It's not your job to fix them. It's not your job to father them. Just because she ain't ready to unpack her baggage don't make you TSA. Stop.
All right. I don't give as many people the pass of it's some mental health. A lot of times it is just stuff they got to unpack, you know. Unpacking is not going to do a whole lot for some condition that you probably need medication for. But this is one of those things I've been speaking about for a while, because it's one of those things I learned in real time that, like, some of the OGs will let you know it should be some kind of shift in the way that you choose partners in your life, because growing up, a lot of us don't know how to choose a partner. We don't know what real compatibility is, and a lot of us always fall for the fat. She got a fat. all right, but you don't understand. You didn't say nothing about her character. You didn't speak to nothing about who she is as a person. You just on the trail, like you got that good smell. You just following. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. I kind of feel sorry for, especially I'm going to say the 40 and ups because there's some 50-year-olds I know that still talk like that about just how bad the woman is, how good she look, and like you didn't say nothing about who she was as a person. So that outer shell, that's what gets a lot of us in trouble, and we end up on the wrong path because we never stop to check and say, who is she? This is for the men. It's speaking to the men. That's why I'm speaking as a man, talking about the way we approach women. Any kind of other identities out there, I don't mean to alienate y'all in this situation, but like, hey, what am I, cisgendered? I don't know, man. I'm tired of trying to keep up with all this stuff, man. The alphabet people have confused me in my life. I love y'all too. Like it's no judgment here, but like I just think some things when it comes to this stuff. So
I'm trying to check in with ain't yours to carry bars. I really wish my daddy had put me up on game about number 16. It's just a list of red flags that you cannot afford to ignore. 1. Extreme emotional instability is usually signs of open, festering emotional wounds that spread like gangrene if you get close enough. Number 2. Mental health disorders is often hereditary. Number 3. Her family chaos usually reflects her own inner chaos. Number 4. Daddy issues will resurface in your arguments. Number 5. Bad acne can indicate hormonal imbalances tied to deeper physical and mental health.
This man just went from all of these underlying issues to bad acne. I see he's serious about what he's saying, but like, now we are acne.
Issues. Red flags don't turn green with time. Stop waiting on miracles and read the signs. Pause. Number 17 is an evaluation method I really wish I had gotten from my daddy. First, evaluate the life you built for yourself by the time you was 30 years old. Then look at the life of the woman you talking to. Evaluate the life she built for herself within the same age range. Dog, it ain't just about money. How much baggage has she accumulated? Does she have a healthy social circle? Did she work in a sex trade? Is she mothering multiple children from multiple men? Does she get some kind of therapy or wise counsel? Can she be alone? Can she regulate her emotions? Is she extremely defensive, controlling, and manipulative? And if so, can she effectively communicate why she is that way? Is she consistent? Is she addicted to distraction? Has she developed mature communication skills? Hell, can she identify her own triggers? And all of the above applies to you too. The alignment or lack of alignment of all those things.
I was getting ready to say that can kind of follow up what I was just speaking on, and that like it's speaking to men and the relationships they have with women, but I'm pretty sure you can insert self and, person X, and a lot of this stuff applies.
Things will let you know y'all's compatibility, relationship trajectory, self-awareness, and values. You ain't judging, you measuring. Because a misaligned partnership don't build a bond, it builds a battlefield. Pause. Like we used to say in the prison workshop, measure thrice, nut once. Number 18 probably gonna get me in trouble.
What?
But I actually want the smoke. Don't focus on real women. Only focus on realistic women. Take pride in being a realistic man. Women who grew up without consistent positive male role models are often hyper-individualistic and then want to equate that to being real women and strong, independent women. I know it sounds horrible, but that missing male figure have her looking to you for her healing fantasy, trying to get everything out of you that she never got from her daddy. But her man can't be her father, her therapist, or her savior. Ironically, the woman who's looking for that often mistakes structure for control and kindness for weakness. And if she ain't never seen healthy masculinity up close, she won't recognize it, she'll despise it. Bars, number 19 of what...
I'm getting out of here on that one, man. Like I can't do it. I'm gonna start yelling like it's the middle of a sermon. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go. Oh no, Yeah, my battery just died too. So that's wonderful. I stopped it at the right time. But I had enough of this. I got to throw the dummy battery in there. All right. Let me go ahead and get up out of here.
Now this joint.